You'll be pleased to know this is the last time I'm hosting these awards, so I don't care anymore. I'm joking. I never did.
Ricky Gervais stood on that stage, staring down at the room full of Hollywood's most famous faces, and without missing a beat, he ripped into them like no one else could. The man who's never afraid to say what we're all thinking called out their political posturing, mocking their attempts to act woke while being completely out of touch with the real world. His jokes landed like punches, each one more brutal than the last. But here's the thing. Is Gervais just telling it like it is, or has he gone too far this time?
I mean, Kevin Hart was fired from the Oscars because of some offensive tweets. Hello? Lucky for me, the Hollywood foreign press can barely speak English.
Ricky Gervais has never been shy about expressing his disdain for Hollywood's woke culture, particularly when it comes to celebrities mixing entertainment with politics. For years, he's used his platform to call out stars who, in his view, believe their fame gives them the authority to lecture the public on how they should think and act. He often portrays these celebrities as out-of-touch individuals who, despite living in immense privilege, assume they know what's best for the rest of society.
Remember, they're just jokes. We're all gonna die soon, and there's no sequel. So, yeah, remember that.
One of Gervais' most memorable moments came from his mocking impersonation of a woke celebrity. In a brief but biting clip, he sarcastically says, "Trust me when I tell you who you should vote for. If you don't vote the right way, that's like a hate crime." In just a few lines, he captures the essence of what he sees as Hollywood's self-righteousness, where stars use their fame to push political agendas, often with little knowledge or understanding of the complexities involved. This impersonation wasn't just for laughs. It was Gervais' way of showing that he finds this kind of celebrity activism not only ignorant, but also manipulative.
Well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you?
He believes that these celebrities, with their influence over millions of fans, use their platforms to preach without really understanding the real-world consequences of the policies they support. For Gervais, it's not about having a political opinion. It's about the hypocrisy of celebrities telling others what to think, when they are so far removed from the everyday struggles of regular people. His humor cuts through the polished facades of Hollywood stars, revealing what he considers to be their shallow understanding of the real issues.
So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg.
Ricky Gervais' 2020 Golden Globe speech was a turning point in his public criticism of woke culture, especially within Hollywood. Standing in front of some of the world's most famous and influential celebrities, Gervais didn't hold back. He ridiculed them for their detachment from the real world, exposing the absurdity of their political activism. One of the standout moments from that night was when Gervais boldly said, "If ISIS had a streaming service, you'd call your agent." This jab highlighted his belief that many celebrities would overlook any moral or ethical issues if it meant advancing their careers. It wasn't just a joke. It was a powerful statement on how disconnected he feels Hollywood is from the values they claim to uphold.
Come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and off, okay?
The speech immediately went viral. It resonated with people who felt that celebrities had become too preachy, using award shows as platforms to make political statements while ignoring their privileged lifestyles. Gervais's message was clear. Hollywood stars who live in luxury and often have little interaction with the struggles of everyday people are in no position to lecture the public on political or social issues.
You can now do a university degree course in Taylor Swift. How low academically can you go?
Ricky Gervais has made it clear that he has little patience for celebrities who use their platforms for political activism, and one of the prime examples he's targeted is Taylor Swift. While Swift has become increasingly vocal about her political views, especially regarding women's rights and LGBTQ+ issues, Gervais doesn't see this as a positive development. He has repeatedly called out celebrities like her, believing that they should stick to entertainment rather than diving into complex political discussions they may not fully understand.
One Vanity Fair writer even accusing the comedian of repeating a, quote, right-wing talking point. Ricky Gervais, however, is hitting right back on Twitter, saying, how the bleep can teasing huge corporations and the richest, most privileged people in the world be considered right-wing?
In Gervais' eyes, these celebrities are out of touch with the struggles of everyday people. For him, their privileged positions disqualify them from lecturing the public on real-world issues. He sees their political statements as more performative than sincere, accusing them of trying to stay relevant by appealing to popular social causes. When Gervais tells celebrities to stick to entertainment, he's saying that their expertise lies in making music or movies, not in guiding public opinion on politics or social justice. He believes that their attempts to do so often come off as shallow and disconnected from the reality most people face.
I've got nothing negative to say about these next two presenters because the big one could snap me in half. So please welcome Zoe Kravitz and Jason Momoa.
Ricky Gervais has never been one to back down from controversy, and his relentless attacks on woke culture have sparked significant backlash. Woke activists and media outlets have been quick to criticize him, especially when his jokes cross what they see as acceptable boundaries. A prime example of this came with his Netflix special Supernature, where Gervais tackled highly sensitive topics such as gender identity and dead naming, the act of referring to someone by the name they used before transitioning. The reaction from woke circles was fierce. Many accused Gervais of being transphobic and insensitive to the struggles of the LGBTQ+ community. In particular, his jokes about Caitlyn Jenner stirred outrage, as Gervais unapologetically joked about seeing Jenner as Bruce in the Olympics, a clear violation of the woke rule against dead naming. His humor was seen by some as cruel and out of step with modern attitudes toward gender identity. But if there's one thing we know about Gervais, it's that he doesn't care about backlash. His response to the outrage over Supernature was to shrug it off, famously saying that he doesn't care about offending people. For Gervais, humor is meant to challenge and provoke, and he stands by his belief that being offended doesn't make you right. This resilience in the face of criticism is part of what makes him such a polarizing figure. While woke activists may see him as a relic of an outdated form of comedy, others admire his refusal to bow to social pressure. One of the most controversial moments in Ricky Gervais' career came when he joked about Caitlyn Jenner, which led to an uproar around the concept of dead naming. Dead naming refers to calling a transgender person by the name they used before transitioning, a practice that is considered deeply disrespectful in woke culture. Gervais, however, didn't shy away from addressing it in his typical blunt fashion. He joked about Jenner's past as Bruce, particularly referencing her days as an Olympic athlete. The punchline wasn't just about the name, it was about the absurdity, in his view, of trying to erase a public figure's entire past.
Here, he's a star right now because of what he did. But the question is, one, do you really think that people didn't make political speeches after he spoke?
I think they did.
They definitely did. So I don't think it had that impact. I think
the reaction was swift and fierce. Critics accused Gervais of being transphobic, insensitive, and out of touch with modern values. Many saw the joke as harmful to the transgender community, arguing that dead naming is a form of violence because it invalidates someone's identity. To those critics, Gervais wasn't just making a joke. He was reinforcing harmful stereotypes and being disrespectful to a vulnerable group. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments below.